Before we get started today, I wanted to invite you to support the podcast by liking, sharing, and leaving a review. I also really want to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment or a topic you'd like for us to cover, please send it my way. I'm all ears. Your input really helps to shape the show, so please sound off in the comments, or if you'd like to reach me directly, I will leave my email address in the show notes. Do not hesitate to get in touch. I am your host, Chelsea Carolyn, and today we are diving into sustainable fitness with Evelyn Harper. We touched on a little bit about consistency over perfection. Is that something that you teach your clients to really practice?
So, consistency is such a touchy topic, and I feel like I might be a little bit of a lone wolf in being like, stay consistent, because I think your body, your mind, your habits are a reflection of, or I guess maybe more so, your habits are a reflection of the things that are working and the things that aren't working. So, even for me, when I get frustrated, where I'm like, I wish I could just be consistent, and it's less about like forcing myself through that habit and more so about like, well, why am I not consistent? Like, why do I feel like I'm falling off? Like, and where is the fall off? So, to your point about consistency over perfection, perfection being like, well, what are you trying to go for, the perfect workout or the perfect routine? I don't know. But consistency is also like, you fall off because maybe you aren't experiencing the results that you're hoping for. And for me and my clients, I'm like, you might not like see the results of like getting fitter in like a couple days, but you should
Mm,
feel the results in a couple days. So you should feel the results actually tomorrow, because if you get your sleep right, you're going to feel better tomorrow. So
yeah.
that's where I think the consistency, I think there's like this nuance between like consistency and momentum slash motivation. And that's where
Mm.
we get a little bit tripped up and being like, just stay consistent. Well, it's like, no, stay motivated and keep that momentum going. And that's what will carry you through to the next day.
That is incredible. Keep the momentum going. That is such a better phrase than consistency, especially when it comes to working out. I wonder, how do you approach a fitness plateau? Because when you're keeping momentum going, but the momentum isn't momentuming and you're not getting those results kind of in the same way as you were, I find that so demotivating when I'm like, oh, it's not enough anymore. Oh, me doing 30 minutes on the Stairmaster just isn't enough anymore. Like, that's not really fair. How
Yeah.
how do you deal with plateaus?
I love that we're even going there. So that's that fifth piece. That's your environment. So how is
Okay.
your environment and the people around you, the things around you, how is that impacting your success, where you're wanting to go? So I think who and what you surround yourself with, it all matters. And
Okay.
when people sit here and like, I guess all to kind of paint the picture of going back to my story of, I keep my bubble and my circle super tight and super
Mhm.
small, because it comes back to when I start expanding it and taking on more obligations, more friendships, more XYZ, I'm taking on more problems essentially, because
Mhm.
people come to you and they're like, let's talk through this, let's meet up, let's do this. Can you do this? I'm like, whoa, like I can't solve all these problems. I need to stick with my tiny little problems, both in my own fitness goals and in my own little world and in my own
Mhm.
tribe. I'm single, solo, live. I have roommates, but aside from that, like I'm not there yet with like a larger family dependence, but
Yeah.
I am there with again, the youngest of four, my parents, and kind of in my both my parents are one of five. So I have this giant tribe that if everyone everyone's got their own little sticky parts in their family, that
Mhm.
I'm still trying to navigate all of this. So I don't have time to expand it beyond what I'm able to kind of take on. So I
Yeah.
say all this because it's like that's where people will lose momentum, lose their flow, is when they start taking on too much. And then you have to, and when you realize that, then you have to dial it back in. And so that's why holidays are so hard, because you end up spending so much time with all these people taking on all these responsibilities, these parties, these this. And so you're expanding your circle so small. And then come January 1, everyone's like, our goals, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
And then people loosen and they expand, they take on more parties, more outings. And then that's where I think this whole quitting Friday or
Yeah.
that mentality because they've taken on so much just within those first 2 weeks of January that they're like, "Ah, I can't handle it."
Yeah.
Whereas if there was another holiday where, we called it Get Fit Monday, the Friday after Quitter's Day, then it's gonna dial people back in.
Oh my god, holiday idea. Trademark, Evelyn.
Couple more fitness holidays, maybe
Amazing, I love
spread
that.
the
I'd be taking the day off. I'd be at the gym
perfect.
all day.
Everyone goes to the spa, everyone just sits there in their own head. That's what the day would look like.
Hey everyone, Chelsea here. I would love to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will gain access to an incredible collection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app today and get a free 14-day trial.